"Not you once more," declared Ambassador Vox. "I really hoped that I wouldn't have to deal with the human plague while I was here. I suppose you should say your piece before we send you back to the Stone Age. How many planets have you sent humanity to this time?" Just like a dog, he stood there nodding his head in thought. The human replied, "We have a few outposts on our moon, and we've established a sort of Pueblo city in a canyon on Mars. And then there's the scientific foundations for Ganem and Europa." Vox replied, "Don't bother with Proxima. We've already confined your species to that system. We don't need them learning FTL again." I was on a mission to Proxima when I was intercepted. The person tilted his head once more. How adorable it was, considering. The ambassador remarked, "Your race is little more than a virus. We don't know who engineered you," adding, "They never mentioned any of that, you guys, or a big space station or a galactic council. They aren't going to like this, okay? However, you ruin everything. The simple solution is to completely eradicate you, as we've had to deal with you at your source world on several occasions. But the council always requires us to reduce your population and deprive you of your technology so that we can glass any colony worlds within your own system. However, because of bureaucracy, we only trap extraterrestrial worlds like the two surrounding Proxima." Arrow stated that humans believe we are at war, but these allegations are unfounded because our history dates back about 30,000 years, and we have only lately discovered fusion and fast transport. Not quite there. We may be about 89% capable. In fact, my whole crew is still in stasis. I was ready to enter myself when your destroyer took my ship, but that was only a straightforward patrol vessel. It's inactive and waiting for you outside the Sol system. To ultimately go, it truly had a hard time catching up with you. You see, we don't truly move faster than light. Instead, we pretend that your ship was traveling at a speed of 125% the speed of light. It appears that your ship's collector array breaches the cosmic constant. This is new, but in this quadrant, your people have been an epidemic for millions of years. 30,000 years, give it that." The human laughed. Vox was not amused by this display of false emotion, and we welcomed you with wide arms the first time you were able to use FTL. It was exciting to discover a new species with such drive, but then you destroy entire planets over the most ridiculous and trivial things imaginable. As a result, entire species are extinct, and instead of rebuilding and introducing hydrogen into everything, you constantly divide people into slave factions. Factions involved in war, I personally do applaud that you would be very destructive as a hive mind, so we devastated your population and confined you to your home world, knocking you back a few eons after that. You can't retain a unique viewpoint anymore, despite it being your worst weakness. Was that, around every 300,000 years, nuclear weapons would be discovered. A few decades later, you would be traveling to space, and fairly frequently you would use nuclear power to propel your vehicle. Just picture a massive bullet packed with people riding a wave of explosions. The majority of the time, it's just humanity. Simply wipe yourselves out until you reach the Type 2 stage, at which point you should demolish all evidence of your existence and destroy all remnants of Lemuria Atlantis. These civilizations did, in fact, exist much earlier than your Plato had said, and we once made the error of granting you one more opportunity. You didn't use nuclear power. Instead, you discovered a way to extract it from the very ether of the veil. Your planet was pure, and although uniting your people was a mistake, you bonded with the Brood right once. The Brood were a former colony of yours. In the Syria system, you both managed to reach FTL at the same time and discovered your past. At that point, humanity declared war on the Council as retaliation against you, and you came dangerously close to winning, forcing us to destroy the Cyrus system and drive you back once more. We chose to freeze your home planet because we believed it would prevent you from progressing for a while. However, the last time this happened, the Sumerians, these primordial blobs, didn't even squander 200 years to acquire crystal-based cold fusion batteries and plasma weaponry. and they were still dressed in. We had to send the Anunnaki to correct them because they were wearing animal skins and didn't grasp basic metallurgy. We felt it worked, so instead of destroying them completely, we merely turned them down. Since the other civilizations hadn't caught up, we hoped they wouldn't hear you yet. Are people laughing? Vox appeared worried by this, since it was a recurrence of a situation that had occurred in these identical halls many times. The humans would always beg, plead, and become aggressive, never laughing, and while they tried to communicate through their laughter, an insectoid drone delivered them. The 3 dreadnoughts escorting my spacecraft were, however, and at that precise moment, while poetic but inadvertent, the station lost contact with him. You think that mine is the lone arc ship. However, I left last, which is why you found me. Total authority. Subscribe to watch more amazing sci-fi stories.